Right, another change has been made. So, my name change is going to be coming up. It might be, sometime within the next few months, who knows? That means that, I've been thinking about it, and I was going to have my middle name be Pigeon with a Y, but I decided to kind of think about, like, how much I want to, like, how much I want to essentially risk my future. Like, I think with the name like Pigeon with a Y, it's a little bit harder to get jobs, like get hired and stuff, or get people to understand me, like at my sense of self. Like, uh, when you're choosing a name, you want it to reflect your sense of self. And you don't want anything like too challenging or weird. People will probably like, I mean, it can literally affect, my outcome in life, and I want to be able to have a control over that. I want to be able to have some sort of control over that. But like, you know, I do I don't really mind having some level of like risk involved in my name. So that's why like for my middle name I've decided to have it be Dionysus. And that is similar to my original middle name. So, it's got the same level of like weirdness and like, you know, it's not really like pushing it any more than it my dead name in my dead middle name. I don't know if there's like a specific term for that, but yeah, it's not any weirder than it already was. So it's not really like a bad thing. Um, I know it might seem kind of irritating for people at home, like why do you care so much about being challenging and everything? Well, because I don't want to keep making life harder for me. I mean, there's still a certain level of risk in that. People will see that my names reflect basically someone who their sense of self comes from like addiction culture, and that's true. I got nothing on that. Like, yeah, that is really kind of how I am, but you know, I guess I just have to pick like what really feels right to me. And like Dionysus seems really powerful. That's a powerful name. That's a cool name. Um Pigeons aren't even my favorite animal. Cats are my favorite animal, but anyway, uh and Sid has been my name for a while, and people call me that, and I like it, and it's how I think of myself most of the time. Um but yeah, like sometimes things just work, and you have to, you know, even if you know that there are things you might miss out on because you've decided something, like, that doesn't necessarily mean that it should stop you. It doesn't mean because I've chosen these names that I'm setting myself up for a life of, you know, like constant cycles of addiction and things. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to turn out, but I am getting better, and that's important. So, you know, I just think these things are cool. Like I don't really know. I mean, you got to just you choose what works for you, and if you want to minimize, if you want to have some sort of damage control as you see it, then I think that might be a wise decision. But it ultimately comes down to the individual. Um, and I hope that if you, a person at home, are thinking about like how do you want to basically market yourself. I mean, that's kind of how it is. It's hard to not put it in those terms, but you know a human being's sense of self is going to be pretty specific and like abstract. Like, that's normal. That's a normal thing. And if you want to have some kind of weird name or identity, like weird as a niche, basically niche and not necessarily easy to grasp and just generally abstract or avant-garde even, you know. Like that's okay. You can be that way, like, you know. And if it comes time to transition, like to really officially like get your shit done, and you want to have an unusual name or anything, like you should go for that. But at the same time, if you kind of have like issues with if you want to have like an easier shot at life, and that's something that you're conscious of, and you want to choose something that might like harm your success, then you can choose to like have like weird little nicknames for your life. Like that's what I'm doing with Pigeon and Silas. Those are like just nicknames that I use with my friends and things, because my friends are like-minded people.